Hi there, it's your old pal Uncle Erik. Glad you could be here today. Glad I could be here today. What we're going to do is we're going to play a little lathe project today. And when we were on vacation in Oregon, your Aunt Terry and I, as you may or may not have seen, blew some glass or had a glass demonstration. They wouldn't actually let us blow the glass because of this horrible thing that's going on. Anyway, when we were coming back down the coast, we stopped at a few wood stores, and I was managed to find some Maple Burl, and I made a few dragon eggs, and this is the last one that I've got here. This one here is some Maple Burl, and what I've done is I've taken some glow in the dark powders and painted that on with some resin, and then cast it in some aluminite. And the aluminite is going to be turned off. We're going to try to make a dragon egg is the last thing. And then I've got it epoxied to a waste block. And the waste block today is, I believe, redwood. It's what I had laying around. So anyway, this is the in there you can see the Maple Burl. And hopefully what will happen is by the end of this, we'll have a little glow in the dark egg or a huge disaster, one of the two. I'm hoping for a glow-in-the-dark egg. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to chuck this thing up. On my lathe is 112 years old at a minimum and 117 years old at a maximum. It was given to me a few years back, and we rigged it together. But you know what? It works. So let me get my dangly strings out of the way so I don't choke myself out when I'm working on a lathe. Get rid of your long hair, loose clothing, that kind of thing. Alright, so let's put the tool rest up. And we're going to set the tool rest right about there. And possibly, no, I think we're gonna turn down this waste block a little bit, make this a little bit rounder. It'll help balance the whole thing. Make it easier for my eye to see something that works. Alright, so today we have a couple of things. We're going to use a brand new negative rake easy wood tool cutter and excuse me, a little bit of a cold going on, and no, it's not the virus. Anyway, it's an easy wood tools negative rake cutter. Let me get my safety glasses on, and actually I'm going to put my face shield on. Always use a face shield. Don't even screw around with that. Safety first. Kids, safety first. Adults, if you don't know that safety first is the rule, you guys are idiots. All right, let's see what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. All right, I've got that turned down to round. Make it a whole lot easier to get my tool rest closer. In like so. Always check where your tool rest is going before you lock it down. It's probably a good idea to remove this thing because, quite frankly, that can get on there and make some nasty accidents, which you don't want. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to make this into an egg shape. We're going to lose quite a bit up here, and as we come down we're going to try to turn it into an egg shape, very similar to some of the ones I've been turning in the past couple of days, which I'll show you at the end. So here we go. Now right here, I poured this in a plastic cup, and the plastic cup, when this got warm, sucked the sides in, and so I've got some pretty good divots here, as you can see, because those are going to take a little while to turn out. This is why a negative rake scraper is great, because if you didn't have that, pardon me, if you didn't have the negative rake scraper, you would be tearing out this by chunks, and it would be like little shards of glass flying all over the room, and nobody wants that. So this is going to make it a lot easier to turn down to a final shape for sure. Anyway, here we go. Excuse me. Now that this thing is completely round, I'm going to switch tools because this one's getting a little warm, and I think I'd be doing better off with the finisher. Anyway, Easy Wood has a lot of tools. This is my favorite one. This is the hollower, and I might use this one a little bit later. It's really good at detail work. I like this one quite a bit. But today we're going to start out with the CI3, which is again a brand new negative rake cutter. Again, an awesome tool, really cool to use. I like carbide cutters because you don't have to sharpen them yourself, number one. Yeah, every once in a while, ooh, look at that. That's pretty cool. It's kind of a spiral pattern. That's pretty awesome. Not even trying to do that. Huh. I wonder if I can continue that all the way down. I somehow doubt it. But you know what? Every once in a while you got to stop and you got to look at what you're doing here. This is evidently a pretty pithy, P-I-T-H, I guess EY, piece of wood. It's kind of soft here in the middle. So I'm not sure how this is going to polish up or sand down, but you know what? I'm going to go with it anyway. Well, it's getting there. Almost where I want it. Almost. Let's get a little bit better shape on that. Okay. The only thing I might change here, it's a little long this way. Might bring this down. You know what? Maybe not. Maybe just taper this off a little bit and have it more pointed. I'm kind of happy with the size at this point. So, decisions. What do you do? Well, there's a knot on the end, so I got to get that off. Other than that, it might be a touch wide right about here. Let's see what happens. All right. You know what? I think I'm happy with that. It may look a little un-egg-like, but that's a pretty good shape. And it'll be a nice little hand feel. It feels nice and smooth all the way across. Now for my favorite part, sanding. So, all right, here we go. We're going to start with 80 grit and try to get all of these tool marks out with the 80 grit. Now a good way to check to see how you're doing is to grab a paper towel, and in this case we're going to use some denatured alcohol. Kind of gives you an idea of where you're at and what it might look like once it's all polished. So get you some alcohol on there. Uh-oh, I got a cut. Yo. Okay. And then take it and yep, I got a cut on my hand, that's for sure. And it'll give you an idea of how you're doing here. And you can see some of this beautiful figure that's coming out. It'll be there once we're done. And it looks like, I put on my readers. Because I'm old. I could probably do some, no, looks like all the tool marks are gone. I got 80 grit scratches in there now. All right, time to step it down. So, the next grit we're going to go with is, in my case, 120, because that's what I got. And by the way, don't buy cheap sandpaper. Go on and buy the real stuff, please. Thank you. So we're going to do some micro mesh, which are these little sanding pads. These are awesome little wet sanding pads. They buff these out incredibly well. So we're going to use these micro mesh pads and get this thing taken down. Let's go. I really like the way that burl's turned out. It looks really, really good when it got polished. We're still going to polish the resin and the burl a little bit. I'm going to let this dry out because it was wet sanded. So I'm going to let it dry for a few minutes. And then we're going to come back and seal the burl and polish up the rest of that awesome resin. All right, we're back. We've removed all of our towel and stuff. And what we're going to do now is we're going to part this wonderful egg from its waste block. And hopefully we'll catch it in time and it won't get all messed up. But that's it. That's a completed dragon's egg. So, pretty cool. All right, so that's the dragon egg. You move this light. That's the dragon egg. If you like this video, like and subscribe, please. And this is your old pal Uncle Erik saying we'll see you next time. Have a great day.